Hello, English students. Welcome to your English class number 23, Advanced Level. Okay, open your PowerPoints and go straight to slide number 2, where you're gonna find some English expressions. So first expression is wrap one's head around it, or wrap my head around it, or wrap his head around it. So it depends on the person you're talking about. It means to be able to understand or get used to a situation. Number 2, once in a blue moon means a very rare occasion, something that doesn't happen very often. Number 3, to be under the water means to feel unwell or sick. Number 4, the last one is your guess is as good as mine. So, if somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you can answer like that. Your guess is good as mine. So, I have no idea. All right, let's go to slide number 3 to start talking about our subject today. So, today we're gonna talk about a very famous mystery case, the Madeleine McCann case. All right. The Madeleine McCann case got such a notoriety that it became famous all over the world and is the subject of many theories and documentaries. The Daily Telegraph described the disappearance as the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. Madeleine was 3 years old when she vanished from a hotel in the city of Algarve, Portugal, in May 2007. Daughter of 2 British physicians, Jerry and Kate McCann, who had 2 other children who are twins and were 2 years old at the time. In the spring of 2007, the family flies from Leicester, England, to Algarve, a coast city in Portugal, on vacation, together with a group of 3 other couples and their children. They stayed in a famous resort on Praia da Luz, called Ocean Club. This resort offered condos as accommodations options for those who came in groups or families, which was the case of the McCanns. They and their friends rented condos one next to the other. Let's go to slide number 4. On May 3rd, Madeleine and the twin siblings had been left asleep at 8:30 in the ground floor condo, while the McCanns and friends dined in a restaurant 55 meters, 180 feet away. The parents would check on the children every 30 minutes. Okay, so one thing that is important here is that they left the gate open because they said if they have to open the front door every time they would come in and come out, the kids could wake up because the front door would make too much noise. So that would make easier for some intruder to come into the house. So at 9:30 p.m., one of their friends went to check on his kids and offered to check the McCann's children as well. He said he found the door slightly opened, but he went close to the room and saw the twins sleeping. He said he doesn't remember seeing Madeleine, but as he saw the twins were sleeping, he assumed everything was okay and went back to the restaurant. They believed that by that time the kidnapper had already taken Madeleine. Kate discovered her daughter was missing at 10 p.m. She went back to the restaurant to tell Jerry that Madeleine was taken. When she said that, one of her friends remembered that she saw a man carrying a child who was apparently asleep. and wearing pink pajamas, saying the child seemed to be 3 or 4 years old, which Madeleine matches with Madeleine's description. When asked why she didn't say anything, she argues that they were too far from her to recognize Madeleine, and she didn't give much attention to it because she thought it was just a father taking his child to the car. Alright, let's go to slide number 5. Leaving the restaurant, they first went to the front desk to let them know about what happened and ask help to find the little girl. After all, she could have left the condo by herself, searching for her parents, and she could be lost inside the resort. Hotel employees, the McCann's friends, and other hotel guests helped on the search, but no signal of Madeleine. Nobody saw her that night. They called the police at 10:15 and the police arrived at 10:30. With them also were sniffer dogs. In the meantime, the police, hotel staff, and other guests were searching for Madeleine. Jerry and Kate stayed at the condo with the twins, and they contacted some people from British press to ask them to spread the word that the little girl was missing, and they would even offer a reward for those who'd give some information that led to her location. As we know, those actions didn't have a good result, and mistakes done by the Portuguese police helped the case to become even harder to solve. The police didn't isolate the area, which made them lose plenty of evidences, since there were around 20 people coming in and out of the condo that night. Slide number 6. Over the following weeks, particularly after misinterpreting a British DNA analysis, the Portuguese police came to believe that Madeleine had died in an accident in the apartment and that her parents had covered it up. The McCanns were given suspect status in September 2007. The Portuguese believed the McCanns accidentally gave an overdose of a sleeping medication so the kids wouldn't wake up as their parents were out. They assumed the kids were given sleeping medication because the twins were asleep as the investigators and other people entered and exited the condo without them waking up. This fact was suspicious for the police because there were many people in there talking loudly and moving furniture. They believed that it would be impossible a child not waking up in a circumstance like that. The following summer, the McCanns were cleared by investigators in Portugal, who declared they had exhausted all avenues and closed the case for lack of evidence. Slide number 7. Besides Madeleine's parents, there were other suspects, including a British man called Robert Morat, who lived in Algarve and was helping the British investigators, being a volunteer translator between the British and Portuguese police. The Portuguese police believed that he did this to have access to key information on the investigations and be able to somehow act in case the investigations started pointing him as a suspect. This information was leaked from Algarve police to British tabloids. The case at this time had already taken over newspaper covers all over the world, especially in UK. When the journalists learned this information, they immediately put Robert Morat's pictures on their covers, saying he had kidnapped and murdered Madeleine. he was threatened and stalked by people who believed he committed such a crime. He didn't have any crime records. Murat was finally able to prove his innocence and sued 10 English newspapers, winning the amount of £600,000. He declared after the verdict, "I am pleased that the publications concerned admitted the falsity of their allegations, and I can now start to rebuild my life." Slide number 8. What are the theories? In June 2020, it was revealed that a German prisoner was the prime suspect in the case, with evidence showing that he was in and around the Praia da Luz area at that time. Ex-police chief Gonçalo Amaral has claimed MI5 British Security Service helped cover up Madeleine McCann's body after her parents accidentally killed her. Veteran investigative journalist Danny Collins believes the toddler could not have been snatched from the room. He is convinced she left the apartment in Praia da Luz looking for her parents before being abducted and possibly sold to gypsies. Former Scotland Yard detective Colin Sutton says, "The most likely and credible scenario for Madeleine's disappearance is a targeted kidnap by child traffickers, possibly to replace some grieving parents on that child." A local resident pointed out that Algarve has many wells, some of which are 100 feet deep. They suggest Madeleine could have wandered out of the apartment and fallen to her death. Slide number 9. In 2019 Netflix documentary, The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann, investigators point out that the coastal resort of Praia da Luz would make it easier for traffickers to escape on a boat and travel to North Africa. The resort is also only 90 minutes drive from the border with Spain. In July 2017, Madeleine's parents failed in their bid to silence ex-Portuguese cop Gonçalo Amaral over his claims they faked their daughter's kidnapping to cover up her death. Another theory is that she was taken as part of a buggled burglary, in which an intruder panicked and snatched her after she woke up. This theory has always been dismissed by cops in Portugal, since nothing else was taken from the apartment. Madeleine could have been taken by a sex trafficking gang. This gang could be aided by predator cops, although there is no evidence suggesting Portuguese police were involved in assisting with Madeleine's kidnapping. Alright, so that's the subject today, the Madeleine McCann's case. So in class we're gonna discuss what theory is more likely to happen, like what do you think happened to her? Do you think her parents maybe has something to do with it? If you watch the documentary, so we're gonna talk about all that, okay, and all the theories. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I see you in class. Bye bye.